the bots and the reseller guys or whatever mission they have, they got a big surprise.
Did you get angry messages from people from that?
Of course, but like I'm like, okay, you're playing with a bot.
What's up, everybody? It's Joe La Puma. You were watching the Complex Sneaker Show. As always, I'm joined by my two co-hosts, my two friends to my right, Mr. Matt Welty.
Feeling great today. Life is on the up.
Is it?
We're here, yeah.
Not speaking for me. To my left, Mr. Brendan Dunne. Do you share his sentiments?
Yeah.
Do you share his sentiments?
His sediments or his sentiments? Yeah, fine. We're getting out the mud, so maybe we share a little sediment.
Yeah.
I feel okay. How are you, Joe?
Yeah, everything's okay. Everything's okay, but I'm glad that you have some pep in your step.
Yeah.
Life is on the up. Why?
I don't know. We're just starting to...
Can he be happy?
Starting to feel it, man.
I love nothing more for him to be happy. That's great. Good energy.
Yeah.
You got a lifetime deal with 47 all of a sudden? How many 47 hats do you have?
47?
Shout out the good people there. They sent me a box.
Okay.
I don't know.
Good. Glad.
So we were having a conversation the other day in the office. As I see, you're already starting to rip up the rug.
Yeah, you know why?
Nervous
I'm
energy.
allowed to. No, it's not nervous energy.
Whoa.
I'm allowed to. What?
So-
This is how I move. I keep, energy up and I move around a lot.
So we were having a discussion. Brendan, you're taking a trip and you were planning on what shoes to wear.
Yes.
You had broken out a pair of the Sunders.
Yes.
And you would put them on your feet for the first time, Joe. And the question that Brendan had on it was, how far does zip up
Yeah,
the
Joe,
zipper?
you got the Sunders on feet right now. Sunder Max Retro. I have the pink pair. Where do you stand on the zipper?
I zip down.
Only for the shoes.
Yeah, because I think that's the whole added layer to it for me.
Do you
If
want-
not, it
Can
kind of
you-
looks
can
like Aquasaki to me.
Can you zip it all the way
Yeah.
up and or
Let's
not?
see. Yeah. These are my beaters, though. The CDG Sunders are my beaters because I was wearing them.
Be careful with I'm worried that zipper is
It's
going
okay.
to pop off.
Don't worry about it. What the CDG Sunders? How long have I been wearing them? 2 years?
You've been,
Okay.
yeah, you put the time in. You put the hard time in.
Yes, but no.
Will you style them for me if I put them on feet? Will you help me? Remember when Kanye West fixed Kim Kardashian's pants
I would
just
do
a
it.
little bit?
I would do it for you. I would do it for you.
Yeah, to make sure it's hitting just right.
I would do it for you, of course. I don't
Thank
think
you
you
for
need
that.
any help, but I would do
Thank you for
it.
that, Joe.
Everyone
I
knows.
might need a little more help from Matt Welty actually because
Oh boy.
I
What?
am back
Deadlift?
in this.
Go ahead.
Yeah, will you spot me?
Yeah.
Thank you. I am back in the zone of feeling self-conscious and
Oh no.
unaware about my true shoe size. Can I tell you about what happened to me?
I would love to hear it.
And do we, just in case, do we still have a Brannick device here on set somewhere? The old school device that measures your feet. So
I don't think so.
Foot Locker just reopened their 34th Street location, huge store, flagship store.
I love going there.
I was there.
Jay Tips used to work there.
Come on, a lot of history in that store. I was there right before they opened, and they have a 3D foot scanning machine to.
Yeah.
You stand on this little platform, and it feels like a Wii device, that you would attach to your console and do some aerobics with. But it's a little platform, and it has 4 pillars that I guess have sensors essentially pointing at your foot. And the device is meant to 3D scan your feet and tell you what shoe size you are. Sounds awesome, right?
Yep.
And they were like, you got to try it. And I was like, okay, cool. Because it gives you a lot of different measurements, even like the girth and the exact width and
Are you
things like
girthy?
that. So I stepped onto the thing and it tried to scan my shoes, and then I had to pull my pants up a little bit because
Did it say like size not found?
do you know what
You know
size?
he's just telling the story for innuendos, right?
No,
Clearly what he's doing.
No,
Stop the cap.
No, this honestly, no.
Okay.
I'm actually looking
Okay.
to Welty for support. I wish I could look to you for the same.
Well, no support
right.
here.
What did it
ISO both
what did
of
it
you.
tell
Go
you? You're
ahead.
8.5 or something?
Dude, the 3D foot scanner at
But
Foot Locker.
that's not your fault. That's their fault. Faulty tech.
I hope so. It told me I was a size 9.
Imagine.
Can you? Can
Two
you,
sizes down?
If I have to go through a whole nother identity
Well,
crisis.
damn, they hit him with the.
Yeah, the
they hit
Giannis
him-
too
Yes,
small.
they really did.
So
Welcome
for
to
those-
the
Oh my
store.
God.
So for those tuning in who
Yeah.
may not know the history,
Yeah.
you've always
The
worn
history of my foot size, my girth.
you've always worn a 10.5.
I told you.
You always wore a 10.5 in
Yeah.
your life.
Yeah.
Some people may have questioned whether those shoes were big on your feet in the past.
Because I put it out there.
Okay. Anyways,
No one ever looks at
the
me
que-
and says,
anyways.
"Whoa, those look huge." Actually, you did say that to me yesterday in the
Yes.
office, but I was wearing a size 10 shoe when you said that.
Okay. Anyways, so people have questioned your shoe size in the past. We had an episode. We measured your foot. Turns out you're closer to a 9.5, 10.
Oh, so they're not that far off.
No, 10/9.5.
That's what I mean. That's what. Yeah, like that.
10.
Yes. Okay. But so
You measured my foot.
Yes.
You were so kind as to pull out the Brannick
you
and
had a-
measure my foot.
you had a midlife crisis, quarter life crisis. You had to
I
size
wouldn't mind if I was halfway
size
through.
down your shoes to size 10.
Yeah.
And then we were in the office one day, and there happened to be a pair of Air Max 1s that were pretty coveted,
Yeah,
and they were
this did
9.5.
happen.
And you go, hey, I'll give them a go, right? And they end
Yeah.
up fitting your feet.
Okay, I did put a 9.5 Air Max 1 on my feet, but it was tight.
But Air Max 1s fit small.
It was tight, dude. It wasn't like this feels right. I'm
Did
not.
you return them?
No.
Oh.
I'm not ready to say that I am a 9.5. And a 9 is absurd. We can agree that I'm not.
What
a
if-
si-
I don't think so.
we can
Hey,
agree that I'm not a size 9
What
foot,
if
right?
what if you're
I'm gonna start growing my toenails out.
Hold on.
Yeah.
What if that's actually your shoe size, but you have like a claustrophobia with your foot?
Mm,
So the 9.5 actually wasn't tight as far as the length goes, but it's tighter than you're used to because it
mm.
fits more closely to your foot, and you're thinking, hey, the walls are closing in when there's actually like space around you.
This might be a metaphor for my life. We might have just
was it
gone big picture.
psychosomatic footwear
Hmm.
sizes.
Well, so what do you think I should do, Welty? Should I let the Foot Locker people know that maybe the size thing's a little off? Should I have you manually check my feet
I
again?
think you should put on a pair of size 9 Air Force Ones and see how they feel.
That's actually a good test.
Oh God,
That's a good test.
Well, Air Force Ones,
I know, but
they
a good
run
test.
big,
I get it, but
but then those off-white green Brooklyn Air Force Ones that I have that I complained about the toe box creasing up. You're telling me that if I had a size 9 in them, that they would fit me just fine in the toe box.
what size were they?
They're a 10.
Mm.
The
That's why-
knowing look
why they
from
creased
Welty,
up.
the grin.
You knew, huh?
You're 9.5.
Also, I will say after I went by Foot Locker for that, I was walking from the 34th Street Foot Locker to our office here, and you go by a couple big box sneaker stores on the way.
JD
You might
Sports,
pass a JD Sports,
Foot Locker,
Foot Locker.
Champs.
And I had a moment that I will cherish where I was walking by. It must have been close to 10 a.m., which I guess is when the stores open. And I saw a line very quickly form outside of Foot Locker. And it's just been a while
what it
since
was
I
for?
was. Yeah, so I asked because it's, again, I don't see these things happen in real time because most of the times we're in the office and sneaker releases are happening, or
Yeah.
it's a Saturday and we're on long runs, or I am, and
Yep.
wrapped up a 15 miler or something like that. But so a handful of young men just were rapidly forming outside the store, and the manager was kind of figuring out what the procedure was. And I said, I didn't know what was dropping that day, what Nike shoe or what hot dunk or whatever. So I said, what are we lining up for? Any guesses?
They just said the love of the culture. Did they?
Boom, Foot Locker logo. No, no, they did not say that.
Any
Welty,
guesses?
Any guesses? This is a Wednesday morning, I think it was.
Is it a Air Max?
No,
Is it a Jordan?
no,
Is it a Nike shoe?
no,
Is it a New Balance shoe?
no.
Asics.
Yes.
What?
Kayano 14.
Wow, that
I
is really
love
good.
where the
That
game
is
is
really
right
interesting.
Was it just like a restock of Kayano 14?
That's really
I
interesting.
didn't answer. I had to make my way to the office, but I just love that we're in a moment where people are
That's-
lining up for a
that's
shoe
good.
like that.
I don't know. If you go outside,
Hey, I'm outside.
11:30 probably like the most popular shoe this summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really good though. But yeah, totally get
And-
that. But
and again-
Foot Locker lining up
Yeah,
for
yeah,
an
yeah.
A6
Yeah.
inline, that's
In line
substantial.
for the in line.
That's substantial.
And we've said this before, but if you would have told me 2-3 years ago that people were, 1, lining up for Asics and 2, lining up for that shoe, I never would have believed you.
Yeah, definitely.
So Mesh Boy summer ain't over.
We're in the twilight zone.
Could be. Could be.
You see, Penny Hardaway got his sneakers stolen.
Yeah, some real foam news.
Yeah.
We are recording this a little early.
Right.
Apologies if it's a little dated. Penny, how many pairs? 20?
The guy just rolled up. They got him on surveillance camera, right? They got some photos of him.
No mask.
Yeah. Rolled up to his house and just rolled out with the foams. I mean, the thing is, I think there were player exclusives, so it's like, how are you going to sell that stuff without somebody?
Yeah, there was like that
tracing it
26
back?
pairs.
There was like that blue and white sort of like faded-esque stripe pair that was going on.
26 pairs.
Street
stolen from-
investigation?
Have to.
You're
That's-
going to be leading the case?
Who would we get to lead the case?
It's crazy to me too,
Who would we
though,
get to
because
lead
it's
that
like
case?
Penny's like a king, you know,
Yes.
in the Memphis area for
Mhm.
like a multitude of reasons, and it's like you would just think that people would have more respect than to
Totally.
try and.
Yeah. Honestly, more than anything, more than trying to figure out who stole the shoes or where they're going to end up on the secondary market, because that's rare stuff. You're going to want to cash out. I'm just sitting here trying to think of a good pun, and I can't. It's not.
Some positive
It's not coming. To me.
foam news, though. Our guy Wale.
Yes, Wale in
homegrown.
the DMV Foamposite campaign. Abdul even made a little cameo.
You know I have to do it. Let's see.
Is he gonna
Is this
answer?
it? This is
He's
your
not gonna
weekly
answer.
FaceTiming Wale segment.
Has he ever answered your FaceTime?
No, not when he knows I'm recording.
But ever?
Yeah.
Hmm,
No, can't get it done.
long odds right now.
But Wale, our guys, Wale Abdul, DMV centric
Yeah.
Foamposite.
Yeah, kind of a cherry blossom theme on those. Happy to see that happen. Happy to see Wale get his due and appear in Nike work. Although I still think Wale needs a proper Nike collab at one point or another. I know he had, shoes with
there was the
his
Nike
name on it.
boots
Yeah,
with his
back in the
name.
day,
Yes.
like the I-95 logo and the song Nike boots, of course. I just think Wale has done so much for sneakers and for collectible sneakers that I still think, even though I'm happy to see him in this campaign and happy to see him get that moment.
Everyone's like, hey,
Long
this
overdue.
is like 15 years too late.
Not too
I don't think too
late. Not too late,
but
you know what I mean? Like-
Overdue.
Not
yeah.
too late, but 15 years late.
Yeah,
Oh,
you think
yeah.
Abdul could have smiled a little bit in the spot? He didn't
was
look
mean
that
mugging.
happy to be there, but I don't know if
Mean
that's
mugging.
just his default, unless he has a piece of Scar's pizza in his hand.
Yeah, always. That's the only time he's happy. Scars Pizza. But yeah, hopefully it opens the door for a bigger project. But yeah, that's
Hopefully, it
was
opens the
excited
door
to see
for,
that.
Us having a real conversation with him FaceTime or not.
Yes.
I know you're not wearing them right now, Joe, but how come you can't stop wearing the 991 V2s?
I just like the social status colorway.
I feel like
They're comfortable
that's
too.
becoming you're slowly
Do
becoming
I have
like
to
this.
jump on this
They're
991
comfortable.
V2
They're really
bandwagon
comfortable.
with y'all?
They're really
I think
comfortable.
so. I think you just like wearing them.
Yeah, I mean, you've outed me a number of times as a famous 991
Yes.
hater, but
Yes.
maybe now that they invented the remix, I'll have to hop on.
I'm in that zone of like wearing them a lot, and I really don't want to fuck them up though.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't.
you have the blue social status
Yes.
pair,
Yes.
and you've been wearing those like
Yes.
multiple times a week.
Yeah.
But you also, Joe got lucky and got reached out to by, because there was 4 or 5 different colorways of that shoe.
Mhm.
Well, I
You-
didn't really get lucky. I mentioned it. I
But
did a
You did the-
PSA
you
on
did
this
the
podcast.
footwork.
yeah, but you know,
No
it's like
Bobby, though.
the balls bounced your way,
Yes, they did.
and
Thank
you
you.
ended up getting hit up to get the pink pair,
Yeah.
Japan exclusive.
Do you like the blue ones or the pink better?
I kind of like that red pair.
That I
Where's
didn't-
the red pair? Which store
the
is
Shanghai.
associated with
I don't
the
know
red
which
pair?
store it is, but that's the Shanghai exclusive. If you had just showed me the colorways,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have gone for that one. And then I saw the editorial of people wearing those in China, and it just looked awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, is that?
Is that the one?
I don't know. It looks really good.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the one over
The pink,
one-
the
The
pink
black
is
and
the
pink,
one.
the
the
ones
black
I
pink.
have. I got a lot of this is the one, even from people who had the blue one.
They told you made the right choice.
Yeah, but I really didn't make a choice because I got both. Sorry.
Excuse me.
Sorry.
Excuse me.
But
Can I do a little bit more
Yeah.
retail reporting? Welty,
yeah, what do we got?
I don't want to upset you here, but while I was at the new Foot Locker location and I was looking at the wall, I have to say,
I thought you were gonna say I went to your hood and nobody knew you.
No, wait, he was wrong. He was
They had
wrong
a picture of
with his
Welty in
wall
the stock
assessment?
room with a
He was
dartboard.
wrong with his wall assessment?
No, I thought the Air Max DN looked good on the wall.
Oh,
and
You guys, a lot of people are warming up to that one.
look,
You guys came on here, were banging the desks. Go put the tape up. Wow.
the tape
Go
up.
get the tape. Pull the tape up.
Yeah.
These guys.
It's true,
came
it's
in,
true, it's
the
true.
Air DN is not a good shoe.
Yeah.
Go ahead now.
I said that we were just gonna have a moratorium on it and never talk about it because it
Well,
was being marketed so heavily.
That I feel like that I'm not coming like full circle. I'm not.
Yeah, you're
I'm
not coming around. You still don't like the shoe.
No, I don't care for the shoe at all. But I just thought that the marketing on it was so overkill, and they were like trying to basically
Make fetch happen.
Yeah, not pay off people to make it the thing, but
Yeah.
as close as you're gonna get in the sneaker game to like get everyone to tell you that they love the shoe when it's like, no, you just
Well,
gotta
I've not been paid off. I
think
don't
the
have any
Olympics
Air
one
Max
looked really good,
DNs.
though.
I've turned down free DNs.
Yeah, but seeing DNs on the
Podium?
metal stand to me is just kind of weak.
But that blue one,
The color blocking is getting better. I
Yeah.
think the ones that they led with were not that exciting, but the ones that they have on the wall now, we'll put in a photo here, a Foot Locker selection of DNs right now.
Did you take
that
You took a photo?
Yeah.
that
Oh, good.
clay looking one kind of reminds me of those clot Air Jordan 13.
In
And
a
a
good
little
way?
Hender. It
Just the
reminded me a
colorway.
little of Hender scheme a little bit. The clay ones.
I
I just saw it in the Slack though.
Okay.
That was one of Joe's biggest sneaker regrets of all time.
What? He's throwing up the L.
Him spending like what $600 on
Too
the
much on
the black Hender
Hender schemes.
fours.
What's wrong with that? I spent $600 on the New Balance.
No, because he
type
didn't
ones.
realize that they're dress shoes and not sneakers.
I mean, they are sneakers. I don't know if I agree with that. It's just like
You
the
got a lot
sto-
of wear out
Well,
of
the
them.
sole
No, I
on it,
didn't.
they're not like a
Yeah. I know. I got a
They're
pair.
like a dress shoe.
I wonder where
Hard
those
bottoms.
are. I wonder where those are.
Did you not wear them at all?
I wore them like once or twice, and they're very expensive.
That's the most expensive shoe I own. That's the most I've ever paid
Wow.
for a shoe is Hender Scheme. They had the New Balance.
Yeah.
Do you wear them?
1300.
Yep.
I wore them a decent amount back in the day. Welty, you remember when I used to wear those? Yeah. But the thing is with all those Hender Scheme shoes, there's actually a New Balance, or not New Balance, but there's a Hender Scheme out right now that looks like a New Balance 991. I forget where I was, maybe somewhere in France, and I saw it on the shelf. Kind of
Flex.
interesting.
The
What a
best Hender
flex.
schemes are the sandals.
You lost me. I don't have any sandals.
Oh, they're really good.
But
I don't have them, but they're all good.
if you remember, the Hender Scheme stuff went on sale quite a bit after
Jordans
the
even?
way. Yeah.
Oh,
I
whoops.
remember going to like opening ceremony sample sales and finding the Air Force Ones, which were I think some of the less interesting ones, and you could get those for like $100, $150
wow.
But yeah,
I just remember hearing stories about like people getting the fours back in the day and not realizing that they're hard bottom shoes. And if anyone who doesn't know a hard bottom shoe, when the first time you wear it, it's like super slippery and like sliding down the subway.
yeah.
Yeah, I was definitely sliding on set a little bit. I definitely wore them for an episode. I forget what it was though.
Did you have the other pair or just the black pair?
Regular pair and the black cat pair.
Maybe I'm thinking that was an NCB shoe, but I thought that
It
was a
was.
big JLP shoe back in the day.
I didn't wear it a lot, but I had both of them.
I remember buying my. I think
The
like
fours.
End Clothing had them for around $1,000 or $1,200, but I just like
wow.
went
That's a
straight to
lot.
Japan for it and had some proxy type setup and was able to pay only. I'm putting that in scare quotes like $600 plus shipping plus import fees, and that's still the most I've ever spent on a pair of shoes.
Yeah.
Do you ever get that, Brendan, where me and Joe were talking about it earlier today, where it's like, you're wearing a pair of like beaters or not the great shoes?
No, never. I always have great shoes on.
Okay.
Next question.
Ha.
No, is it? Yeah.
Or then you're out in public and then you run into someone who recognizes you or expect you to have like heat on your feet and you have like the most like cooked
Yes.
sneakers on and you're like,
Yeah.
oh.
It's always the time when you're like, no one's gonna see me, and
It's happened in my neighborhood before, and someone's like, "Come on, man, out here you got to wear nice shoes." And I
Wow.
was like, "I got a bunch of."
I will tell you another story where I got defensive.
Oh,
Yeah,
But someone saying you had
they
whack
tried to
shoes
pull your
on?
card.
I got defensive,
What happened?
and I never like. I don't do that. Like
Yeah.
I was out one night in Bayshore.
Mm-hmm. Back home, your hometown, your stomping grounds.
Lorenz OG Sunders
Someone said just
A custom sneaker, a sneaker you can't
No.
buy.
wasn't Lorenz OG Sunders. Lorenz OG Air Max 95s, blue one.
Yeah.
A blue. I'll put the photo in, and the guy. I don't fault the guy. Like I don't know. He was just like, oh man, what's
Somebody
up,
you know?
No, I don't know. And came
Random
up to me
guy.
like, but big fan. He's like, oh, keeping it pretty basic here.
Oh,
Yeah, and I was like-
wow.
And I was like, yo,
I'm so non-confrontational. I
I
wouldn't
was
say
with-
anything.
I was with
I'll just
Rudy-
nod my head
Rudy-
and be like,
really?
Yeah, you don't. It's
I was
okay
with Rudy
that they don't know.
Calderon. Yeah,
I feel like
I'm like this. I was like, no, because I wasn't confrontational, but I
Yeah.
was like,
You had Rudy yoke him up,
no, but
like Bibby style.
but there's two answers. Yeah, something light.
Yeah.
Or you know who the F I am?
Or
Not
it's the
that.
meme of the guy standing in the
No, I
corner. They
just
don't
like
know.
this.
They don't know I'm wearing
I was like,
Lorenzo
no,
G.
I think, and like when I say I got defensive, I'm saying I got defensive because like the response, I don't know if I would have said it again. I was like, these are specially made from London.
Wait, were you in a? You
Which
were,
I think is
You
a
ain't got these.
which I think is a happy medium from like,
Yeah.
dude, that's a weird thing to say. I wouldn't.
Wait, you were in a
even
bar?
Yeah, I wouldn't
That's-
even say.
This feels like to me, it's like you know the scene in Back to the Future 2 where he's at like the diner and he's like, "Call me chicken."
Yeah.
I feel like it was like looking pretty basic here. I feel like those are like fighting words, man.
Nah, not fighting words, but I think just a weird because I like
Were you hanging out with the guy, or he randomly came up to you and said
randomly
this?
came
Yeah.
up to me.
Did
I
you
mean,
know
how
him?
would you react?
Did you know him?
No, he came up and was like, "Hey,
big
fan."
Yeah.
And then the first thing he said was like, keeping it basic tonight,"
Keeping it basic.
which is like I wouldn't even say that to.
Or the only I feel like the only way to play it off is like, oh, you know, something like.
Yeah, that's why I said I was a little defensive because that is the way of just being like, yeah. And then I was like,
Not tonight.
because saying special made from England is cringe to me.
But do you know
But-
how
It is.
It
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
It's like, well,
It's
you know,
so
these are
cringe.
from Japan.
Like I would imagine, like
you can
it is a little bit
you can
about
only
me.
get these from Shibuya.
Exactly. That's why. But that's why I know I'm a little self-aware. That
Yeah,
was a
good.
defensive response
Yeah.
because
Do you
I
know-
was like, dude, I felt it's such a weird like, like kind of greeting.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am not advocating for
Violence.
in any situation. But think about this. Hold on for a second. Think
Yo.
about this. Do you know how much publicity you would have got if something? It's like TMZ headline: Joe La Puma chokes guy out for
Oh my
trying to make fun
God.
of his
What?
sneakers.
Too old
What?
to fight. Too old to fight. The only
That
way-
would go all over the
only way
internet.
I'm fighting-
The fact that that's where your mind
Yeah,
goes.
too old to fight. Only way I'm fighting is if someone
The only
does something.
publicity's- I
Not
mean-
to me, someone else who I'm close with. I feel like at this point.
Let's just
And
put
we've
this
discussed
PSA
that.
out here.
We've discussed
Let's
that.
put this PSA out
No
here.
fighting.
We
We're not-
definitely don't want
we're
this
not
to become
fighting.
a meme. Definitely, if you see Joe, definitely don't say that to him.
Oh,
For
now
the
this
next-
is gonna
for the next
this is gonna
3
start
years,
perpetuating
every time
now.
No,
you see
the-
Joe in public,
the
do
thing
not
is-
say he's.
Yeah, I mean,
wearing
I'm
basic
totally.
sneakers.
Listen,
Push the mic away.
I'm Stan. Okay.
Did it make you insecure?
No,
No,
But-
because you know the
but-
shoes you have on.
but defense. But I don't know. There's a thin
And again,
line.
you're admitting it's cringe.
There's a thin line between insecure and defensive. I was definitely defensive to be like, no, special made from London. Like, but he caught me off guard.
Yeah.
He caught me off
Although,
guard.
not gonna lie, it's not the same thing, but it kind of like takes me like back to back in my like college years or whatever, like 2010, 2011. You go to some like clubby.
You got a fake ID.
No.
No. This
Go
is
ahead.
when I was of age at the time. I went to school a little bit later, but you go into some like bar club situation, and had a pair of like Clark Wallabies on. And like people like weren't up on those at the time. Not saying it was the coolest shoe, but people
Yeah.
are like, "Oh, you came through with the Hush Puppies, huh?" And you're just like,
And you told him, hush,
Listen, though.
puppy.
Well, listen, there's a lot of layers to peel back, though.
Okay. Go Shrek on us.
You know why? I think part of the layer, it was in my hometown,
Yeah.
definitely. You
You're
know,
not going to be disrespected there.
"Hey, and you're
Definitely.
He's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He's in the Bayshore High School Hall of Fame. You can't
Definitely,
disrespect the
there's-
Hall of
listen,
Famer. They got
let's-
his jersey in the rafters.
Listen, let's turn the
Nothing
lights
basic
down. Let's
about
have
that.
a little therapy session and peel back
Yes.
the layers, okay?
Yes.
with Tony
Defi-
Soprano."
No, exactly. Who are you,
I'm not
Dr. Melfi?
No, that's him. He's Dr. Melfi for
Who
sure.
would you be? Paulie?
I've never seen the show, so.
Big Pussy?
Christopher.
I feel like people used to say, okay, hold on. Let's peel back the layers.
Yeah, peel him back. Peel him back.
Okay. Is that who you want to be?
Peel back the layers.
Hold on, no. Okay. I think because it was in my hometown,
Mm-hmm.
I also think maybe some trauma from the De La Soul dunk highs when
Yeah.
someone was like, yo, what are someone I remember? I was in
Yeah.
the pool. Shouts to Frankie Malpigli. I
Sure.
was in Frankie Malpigli's pool.
Right.
The De La Souls were on the pool deck, and some girl came in. What are those? De La Soul highs? You showed them in the Life at
Yo,
College. Oh, I don't know. One of the best Nike SB dunks ever made.
People
Did
out
you
there,
see the
hold on,
list?
hold on.
Mm.
People out there were trying to critique the list, saying when we put the De La Soul dunk highs on there,
Our list for the Nike
Yes.
SB dunks.
Saying
best
that-
of all time.
platinum.
saying
Hopefully
that
we get the analytics.
saying that we got it wrong because the De La Soul
No.
dunk lows
No
are
way.
way better than the highs.
No way. No way.
No, that's
What?
That's false.
What on
So
earth are
listen,
you smoking?
Maybe the trauma from that. A
Yeah,
young
compounded,
JLP.
yeah.
What's the term? Runny nose, dirty white tea
Yeah.
in the summer.
Did you have the ham and cheese sandwich waiting for you after you hopped out the pool? Slice some Doritos
Lunchables,
in the
maybe.
middle?
Chips?
Lunchables before, only had dreams of one day making it as an assistant manager of the finish line. Could only dream. And then I got played for the De La Souls. Then maybe it took me back when the guy said, "Oh, keeping it basic," But
What
will
well,
I? How
here's
will
the
I,
real no home.
How will I react next time? We'll
we
see.
didn't even answer the thing we really need to know about the situation. What did he have on feet?
I don't know. I didn't judge. I didn't judge.
It's the moment from Mad Men. I don't even think about you at all.
But it was
You know the crazy part is though that this guy is probably watching this right now and thought he had such a great interaction with you, and now he's like,
apologize.
He's like, damn, they roasted me for 12 minutes on the podcast.
Listen, he will
All
never.
love.
He won't remember it. But guess
All
who
love
will
to our
remember
fans.
it? Me. And I will remember it.
Don't forget. All right, should we bring on our guests?
Yeah, listen. We have a great guest today. The first Latin artist to have a full Jordan collaboration. Not only did he do a standout Jordan 1, he did a Jordan 2. You know what he did after a Jordan 2?
You kept going.
He did a Jordan 3. A Jordan 3 that landed on Complex's top sneakers of 2023. He's a multiple Latin Grammy Award winner. He has been on Full Size Run. He has been on Sneaker Shopping twice.
2 times.
He's our friend. We're always happy to see him. We can't wait to chop it up with our guest, Mr. J Balvin.
My G.
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Man, great.
Welcome.
Thank you. First time I see you guys all together. I see
Yeah.
the first time I see the Avengers in real life.
Yeah, right?
I see, who wanna be Iron Man?
That's a good Joe. Joe.
Doesn't feel bad to be Iron Man.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
you can be Iron
who
Man.
can I be?
You could be
Captain America, maybe.
okay.
No, he's Captain America.
Oh, yeah,
he's
absolutely.
Captain America. Welty's Captain America. Yeah.
Will you be maybe Spider Man?
Yeah, I'll take Spidey.
Okay.
Yeah, Spidey.
Whip. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
He
Who
does have
do you want to be?
Man, come on, Iron Man. But we can
split
But
it.
let me go to DC side now. Let me be Batman then.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
So
good.
we're good now. Everything is like
Someone Photoshop all those characters on our head for this.
Please,
instead
that'd
of
be
me,
dope.
okay?
We're not paying for it, but
Yeah,
but
please, put it
Yeah,
up
of course.
online.
Someone do the meme or something for us.
No payment. We'll retweet though.
Yes.
Did you see the Kith just did all the supervillain Asics shoes?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
of course.
You like when you see like the superhero supervillain shoes? Or?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love comics, man. So, I love that.
Were you a
I
DC
cannot- I
guy or a
cannot talk
Marvel guy?
Man, my favorite ones, like in general, the Marvel has the crew that I love, but DC has one that is like my love. I have Batman here.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? But
Tatted
like
on his
as
chest.
a gang, Marvel
Avengers,
has the best
Marvel,
gang.
Yeah. There we go.
Absolutely,
So
that's
what-
what I feel.
So when like the Spider-Man, they do the Spider-Man Air Jordans, was that like a thing you had to get? Or-
Yes.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah.
1,000%. I loved it.
I don't want to wait too much more before
Get
we
right
talk about
into
the
it.
shoes though, because you got the big pants on, so we can't quite see it. But what are you wearing today?
We have
Oh, these old things?
39 years old. This is the Jordan 35. Really hard to get. You can see the snout thing. They're like about to die.
Yeah.
1985 Air
Those are
Jordan 1s.
great condition. And I remember
Yeah,
you,
really, really great condition.
remember you telling me, I think during pandemic, did you go back and get, was it before pandemic or did you go back and get a bunch of 85s?
There was no, it's always been through
Okay.
me as a sneakerhead, or of us lover of sneakers. I collect a lot of 85s. That's the year I was born. So now we know I'm 39, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man, like I love, this is my favorite shoes, the ones,
Yes.
the ones in general. But
The thing I like about the 85 pairs too is like you can beat them up. It feels fine putting them on. It doesn't feel like they're gonna fall apart or.
the leather,
Yeah.
that leather was another type of leather.
Yeah.
And the other thing is like with all the pre-distress shoes coming out, like you look at those and you're like, you can never achieve that organic distressing.
Kind
It's
of
perfect.
kind of hard, right?
It's perfect.
Yeah, man.
How many
like the shoelaces, like the collar,
Yes.
like
they look great.
How many 85s do you have? Your breads, everything?
like 12.
Wow.
Yeah, 12 and 94s too.
Okay. Do
Yeah.
you have to like get hit up like?
Oh, you
People-
have to look. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have to look for in different places around the world.
Yeah.
like maybe like in Tokyo, some of them.
Yeah, you go to Tokyo, they got 85s out there.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. But last time I went to a store, they have like all 85s, and they weren't selling them. I'm like, so why you put that?
Oh,
Like, why you
one.
make me? Why you play with my heart,
It's
man?
the
Yeah,
Kevin
it's
Garnett
my
meme.
feelings.
Do you still look for a deal on them though, or you just like pay whatever the price is? Or you're kind of like, oh, I'll shop around and try
Yeah,
to.
no. I used to be really crazy before to like, oh, let me get these sneakers because when when I was a kid, I come from Colombia, so that
Yeah.
was hard to find those type of sneakers, and I didn't have no money to buy it. I'm not saying that I have money right now, but I'm saying that
You got a
now
little
it's
money.
different. That's not important right now.
Okay.
The thing is, like, we
No.
can afford them, And I remember when I got to the United States for the very first time and started doing my first shows, getting some money. I didn't care about the resale. I was just like,
Yeah.
let's buy this.
No
Like,
matter the price.
Yes, especially with the Nike Yeezys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Solars and the Red Octobers and all that. Was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
That's whatever.
They're starting to fall apart on people now too.
Bro, I wore mine last week and I was just flexing on them like, you see that? And then,
Your Yeezys fell apart?
bro, the sole.
Which
Red
one?
Octobers?
The
Solars?
Yeah, the Solars.
Oh man.
Man, that hurts.
Yeezy twos, the Yeezy twos, or the
Yeah,
Yeezy-
the twos.
Yeah,
Yeah, the twos. Oh, and the ones too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did the sole completely come off?
No, just the back part.
Are we gonna get them
where
fixed?
where the air, yes, I think we can. Yeah, definitely we can do it. Of
Okay.
course. Yeah.
Throw some new glue on there. How you play ball in these?
And this one's, I'm not good playing ball, but I have a funny story because like my wife, she loves sneakers, but she don't know about history. Like she's
Yeah.
not a sneakerhead. So the last time I remember she went to the streets here in New York, she went to play basketball and all the guys were like, why you wearing those? Like, why you playing basketball with those? And she's like, what?
No big deal. What does she have on?
What do I have on?
Yeah.
She's been 2 times. First one, she had remember the Collab ones, the blue ones?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, unreleased.
Very rare.
The blue,
Very,
the DJ Khaled Jordan 3?
very
The
rare.
blue threes.
She was
Yeah.
hooping in the blue Jordan.
No, she was playing basketball,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
but
yeah.
like,
cutting side to
and all
side.
the guys, all these kids here, they love Jordans, and they're playing like, why are you playing with that? Like,
Dropping
please.
25 and 10 in the father of the side threes.
That's legendary.
It's
That's
crazy.
legendary.
You know?
So she was like, everybody was talking about the sneakers I had. I'm like, what? But show me what you were wearing. Like, no
Yeah.
way, you had
Damn.
those.
Damn.
And then she goes with actually with this 85. She just oh, I like this, and she went to play basketball again. Like I receive a lot of compliments, but they said I shouldn't be wearing this playing basketball. I'm
Yeah,
like,
they're basketball sneakers.
Oh, she has 85 ones as well for herself. Y'all see? Okay.
yeah.
Amazing.
But shout out to my wife.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time. My sneakers, not quite as special, but I'm happy to have these. This is a Hoka Mafate Speed Light for the Satisfied collaborations I was talking about a couple weeks ago. Joe, you like them?
Yeah, do. Look
Like
good.
the trail nose?
Speed lacing. Yeah, we might go hiking. You want to go hiking, Jose?
I definitely can go hiking, but with Jordans on.
Okay, fair enough.
That's the only way I can do it.
All right.
CDG Sunders.
Fire.
Yeah, you
All
know.
black went
yeah, it's
basic
a work
today.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah, basic, but
That's not basic.
I see-
man.
I
That's
see
not-
what he's saying.
That's not basic.
yeah, but this is, we're here to do work today. So yeah, triple
nice.
black CDG Sunders.
Maybe the only time, well, maybe not the only time, but the first time you're seeing Under Armour shoes on my feet and on this podcast.
Is it the first time?
Yeah.
Ever?
Yeah.
How does it feel?
They feel okay.
They did a good job on
Are
those.
they
These are cool.
comfortable?
Yeah. But these are the museum in DC Under Armour apparitions.
Let me ask you this, because you played horse with Steph Curry one time. When you
Oh,
played
sorry.
horse with
Hold
Steph
on.
Curry, were you wearing Under Armours? You got to
Sorry,
step to him with the Under
I
Armours
mixed
on.
it up. I totally forgot about that. I didn't totally forgot I played horse with them, but I forgot that I wore Under Armour to play horse with Steph Curry.
Got to do that.
So much to talk about. Where do we want to get in? Do we want to get into the recent footwear? We always have something on deck. We always have it on deck. I tend to leave the hand tag on just to let them know sometimes. 2023, the white colorway made Complex's sneaker of the year.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Yes.
Thank you.
I mean, you're right. No, but like,
Yeah.
no, but
You made the shoe.
Yeah, we made the shoe, but like I love the fact that you value what I did with it. What we did as a team. And I have seen your interviews when you talk about the first one and the other ones, and it's good that I'm here to talk about the stories and
Yes.
situations that I went through to start getting in the middle of what people want,
Yeah.
but never losing my DNA on it.
You think that this is the best shoe you've done, or the ones?
I mean, if we want to go back in time, the first one, we all know they were really loud,
Yes.
but I wanted to do it like that because that was the only way I can get people's attention, and like I basically did whatever I want with. They let me do whatever I wanted with, the material, the
cutouts,
the cutouts, and of course they're not easy to rock when you're not really like the most like fashion guy that you just don't care and just like go all out. And but that's what I wanted to show the world. Like I started doing an album called Colores and Vibras and Energía. So I was like, and remember, it took me like 3 years to close this deal.
Yeah.
The Jordan deal.
Yeah. So every time I was like designing because this year we're gonna do it. So I have it. And then the other year, like, okay, so I have to add something else to it because maybe this year is gonna do. So basically the first one was like a compilation of all my couple of like 2 albums.
Yeah.
Right. So they were really loud, but it's really special because that's the first time a Latino has a Jordan collaboration as an artist. So it has more in our culture as Latinos. It has that big. It has like a really thing in our heart because it's like the first time a Latino collab with Jordan as an artist. So they're my favorites because the
Air Jordan one is the favorite shoe you've done.
the story that is behind.
Yeah.
Then when we go to the second ones, they put me a really hard task. Jordan 2s, Jordan 2s are hard.
They're tough. They're definitely tough.
Jordan 2s are. I just have one Jordan 2s before I did that
Dunne
was
Cs?
the Dunne C.
Yeah.
Quilted
because I love
leather,
the I love the
Chanel bag
material.
style,
You
yeah.
see the
Amazing.
Chanel vibe.
Did you have the Virgil ones too? The low top?
Yes, I had them, but that was after.
Yeah.
So and Virgil did a great job, which is not really going too loud.
Yeah.
And just keep the kind of like the OG place, but like they were like distressed, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. They
Yeah,
were
like the midsole was falling apart.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Falling apart, yeah.
Like the Jesus, but
Exactly.
on purpose.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So when they say like 2s, I'm like, Jesus, man, like,
Yeah.
can we pick another ones?
Mm.
And like, man, you're part of the team. You want to play this game? I was like, sure,
Yeah.
let's do it. And it was a really hard task, man, because like, okay, I went deep on the materials.
Do you feel like you went too deep?
I went really deep because it's about mental health.
Yeah.
And like since then, every sneaker we create has to have a purpose and a story. So I'm always been an advocate of mental health. So I was like, how can I put mental health in this? And the color, the heaven, the clouds, and then the light.
Yeah.
Light up tongue.
Yeah, the light and the light up tongue it reminded me when I was a kid with the light years.
LA Gears, yeah.
Yeah.
LA Gears, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, let me put my nostalgia of what I feel and put it on the 2s. And we all go through dark times, and I wanted to express that the light at the end of the day always come, and you press the bottom. That was a really hard task, man. And they really, and
hard,
they were
how hard is it getting a light in the tongue of a shoe?
that took. I mean, there's they make everything. They make in China, and they're really good at what they do. So that's not a problem. But when it comes with the idea, they're like, "Whoa, hold up, what you mean?" But the Jordan team has always been so open with me, and they definitely let me play. But that was a hard task.
Yeah.
And they also were really expensive.
Yeah. What was
Yeah.
retail on those?
Well,
250, 275?
275.
Yeah.
So, but then when I had the chance to like, okay, now I'm going to the 3s. And I learned through my creative process, what people want and what I want, because I want to keep it real to myself also. So to me, when they gave me the 3s, it's like you're touching the Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
Like
It's almost harder than the 2 because it's so
Oh
sacred.
no, it's way harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because
Even though
the
you feel
2s
pressure,
doesn't have
yeah.
The twos doesn't have as
The
biggest
bar.
fans.
Exactly.
Yeah,
the bar.
yeah.
The bar for the
Exactly,
three is like, don't mess it up.
Don't mess it up.
Don't mess it up.
And let's go back. The ones are the same as threes.
Yes.
You know, it's people's favorite.
Yes.
But in the one at least, it's like, this is my first chance, man. Just let me go what I dream.
Go all out.
Exactly. Let me go to the left.
Yeah.
And I knew there's gonna be love and hate.
Yeah.
It's normal. I knew it. You know, but I love them.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the threes, I remember being in the meeting like, guys, this is like, you're giving me the Mona Lisa now.
Mm-hmm.
So how can an artist add something to the Mona Lisa that it doesn't kill the original vibe?
Mm-hmm.
And for those that are the really OGs, fans of the threes, how can we?
How hard was it to get them to convince Jordan to let them put your logo on the back of the shoe?
Nothing, man, because like starting from Michael, it's always been really kind with me and his family.
Yeah.
You know, shout out Yvette, his wife. You know, she's Latina, so she also, you know, like she knows my background, she knows my story.
She talks to him on the side for you?
I think, I mean, you know, like in every house, we gotta admit it, bro. Women are the one who rules the house. I don't know if it's in your case, but in my case, yes. and every time I ask my boys, they're like, "Yes, bro.
Yeah.
They're the one who rules the house."
Yeah.
So, of course, there's not some extra love there, right? But at the end of the day, this is like, are you creating a good piece and are you selling? It's a business also, right? So, when it comes to the threes, I'm like, okay. So I remember I was in Colombia and in my house and I was watching the sunset. I'm like, this sunset is so beautiful, man. And I'm like,
That's it.
That's how you got the,
yeah. So, you know, Frank Cooker is part of my creative team, you know, and shout out to Frank. He's always been my day one with this process. And I came up with the idea. We were looking how to place the sunset.
Yeah.
We did so many versions because like in the ones, the first sample they sent me was like, yeah, let's go. And of course, because I wanted it to have it so bad. So
Yeah. No changes, no notes.
exactly.
Yeah.
No
No
nothing.
notes. Exactly.
Yeah, no notes, a zero. And in the twos, some notes because the materials. But in the threes, we have so many options. Like they
Did they
sent-
sample them up? Did they make
We
them?
have a lot of samples. But
What is
that's the
the
right
biggest-
side.
What's
Yeah.
the biggest departure from what actually came out that you can remember in the sampling process? Full like,
The leather.
okay.
The leather because, you know, like this one is matte. Matte black. You know, the other one is always matte coconut. That's the name of the coconut cream.
Okay.
Yep.
Coconut cream.
Yeah, that's the name on the when we're looking for the colors and it says like coconut. So
Do you have all the samples?
of course.
Was there any loud ones like sun?
Oh, bro, like you
like-
gotta like
What colorway? Like what kind of colorways?
we. I mean, this one I always knew it was gonna be black,
Okay.
1000%. The other one we went to different type of white, so it was like the white like the glass,
Okay.
you know that, but it's
Yeah.
it was
Too bright.
Yeah, too bright. And there's a lot of Jordan that are that white that they're really important in the culture.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to do like I don't want that looks like something familiar.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I have a lot of also the elephant print, you know, like we tried so many, you know, darker in the white ones. Also in this ones, because when you see the picture, the licks on these ones, the way it was a clear like it wasn't dark
Yeah.
elephant.
Those first leaked photos.
Yes,
Yeah.
they were like the cement ones.
Were you freaking out when the leaks came?
No, because I have them on.
Yeah.
So I have the samples, and
Yeah.
that's why, like, you know. But I knew that I was gonna do this tweak to make it more balanced.
But you only have the samples in the right shoe. It's a shame.
In this case, they sent me the tools, but I hate because I have so many just right
at the
sides.
crib, just one right shoe.
Yeah, I'm so
in every
sad
room.
about it. Reggie, help us, please. So yeah, on the white ones, on the cream ones, coconut, they sent me a lot of versions. I actually was in Paris, and I was checking like no, yes, no, until we found
Yeah.
the right material and the right story. So I think since the threes is when I start really learning how I can apply my vision and not disrespecting the really people that love the OG version
Sure.
of
Yeah.
of why they want. And that's the same thing with this ones. You know, we're like, we're gonna keep it clean. You know, we add in my yeah. This is the fact that they let me use my Thunderbolt, my lightning bolt,
Really cool.
and the smiley face. You know, that is a blessing that they let me do that. You know, but with the threes, we say we really passed the test to be like, okay, now he definitely got what.
Yeah.
How kind of collab, you know, can be more like in a commercial way, you know, respecting the OG fans of the Jordan 3s. And then we came with these ones.
Did you know like you had the hit as soon as the samples came back? Did you know?
1,000%.
This, yeah.
1,000% because I found the balance that I told you. Like, let's say if Cost touched the Mona Lisa, he might just add the, you know, the excess,
Yes.
right? That's it, nothing else. You're not going to add nothing else to it. So that's what the way I was thinking. It was like, actually talk about Cost because that's what I say in the interview. I was like, in the meeting, I was like, if Cost touched the Mona Lisa, what he will do? Just like,
Yeah.
nothing else because it's the Mona Lisa, right? So we have to do the same. We just got to add a little detail of what it represents, the story we want to tell, and just leave it like that. You know?
You said you want it to be a commercial project. Do they make more pairs with every collaboration? Like, are there more of the Jordan 3s than the 2s and the 1s?
They you know, like part of the strategy, you know, I always want people to have our creation.
Yeah.
You know, but of course everything has a strategy too. So this one I think the less pairs we have.
Then the white ones.
The black ones?
Yeah, the black ones.
There's
the
fewer
white
black
ones.
than the whites. Yeah.
Yeah, there's fewer blacks. This is also a lot of people's favorite, the black ones.
I love the rollout strategy too. When you put them on sale on the website, and there was a thing where
Oh,
they were
man,
up for $25,000. Whose idea was that? How did that happen?
Bro, that comes from my Colombian team. And I'm so happy what we did. I'm not happy that we have to give the money back.
You wanted to keep the
We had a couple of
$25,000.
millions in seconds.
Wow.
Really? People really purchased them for
That's what I'm saying. This
$25,000.
actually was a girl. Oh, it was under a girl.
Okay.
You know, the credit card. She bought 3.
Wow.
And you were thinking, man.
So so it means that she was okay when she said, oh, 25K.
Yeah.
It's nothing bad. Let's buy 2 more.
So you had the shoes up for sale on the website in order to deter bots. The original price on them was $25,000, but then later there was a discount code you could
For
apply.
my fans.
Yeah, they would put them at the real retail price.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
my guys,
$200.
my people have the real price. The bots and the reseller guys or whatever mission they have, they got a big surprise.
Did you get angry messages from people from
Of
that?
course, but like I'm like, okay, you're playing with a bot.
Yeah.
So sorry for you. And that was beautiful because that was a worldwide news.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we didn't plan it like that. We just were thinking about the people that want to get the pairs.
Did that come from someone who like does merch for you?
Yeah, that
idea?
was from the merch team.
Okay.
And that's a genius, man. That's
Yeah.
genius because like no one's done it before. And I know that can be a headache for other artists or other people, if you know, because like what we did was a real good statement against both and thinking really about the consumer and the people that really wants them.
Did
know,
you
that
tell
they
Michael
really-
Jordan about that? I feel like if you told Michael Jordan you're selling Jordans for $25,000, he might get some ideas, you know?
Well, man, when I saw all those millions of dollars, man, that day, I'm like, it's fun because we tweaked them. You know,
Yep.
we
Yeah.
played the
Yep.
players
Yeah, exactly.
that day. But of course, we have to give the money back.
Yeah.
But the emails were crazy. They were funny.
We gotta see some of
They
those.
were
Were they, like,
funny, bro. They were
cursing
funny,
you
like,
out and stuff?
Like they were funny, like no, big no.
Just
Give
10,
me my
10
money,
O's.
bro. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
They were sending me some emails. I'm like, wow, bro, they're really mad. But you know, they wanted to play that game, so we played the same way. And shout out to everybody that has those.
Do you pay attention to the comments when you see the shoes posted online? Do you read them to see what people are saying?
Of course. You know, of course. And it's like music. We cannot take it personal. You know, it's you put a lot of passion. I put a lot of passion in every creative design that I do and we do with this. But it's like music. You know, it's those type of like you when it comes to sneakers and when it comes to music, it's that type of product that you never tested before. You go, wow.
Yeah. You don't know how the public's going to react to it.
Exactly. You know,
Yes.
normally, you know, when the same way with a soda, you know, they taste it,
Yeah.
everyone, you know,
Focus
100
groups.
people,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yep.
Tastes good, tastes amazing, boom, boom. In this case, it's like you're out.
Yeah.
People are gonna,
Especially because
they're gonna taste
they
it as
produced
long as
the
it's out.
shoe
Yes.
way before the people actually get the shoe. Even with an
6
album,
months,
you could tweak
6
it a little
months before,
bit. But
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but this
So
is
you're locked in.
impossible.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
Interesting.
it's really interesting. But yeah, since the threes, I'm so confident about how can I touch, you know, the grails
Yeah.
and,
Yes.
and make and pay homage to it, but also put my DNA and not confronting, you know, like not people be like, what happened?
yeah.
What happened to those?
Well, people thought you did a 4 the other week
Yeah,
when you were wearing the custom pair.
yeah, but I cannot really talk about that because Jordan is not really happy about that.
Okay.
Got it.
Yeah.
Getting back to this, when the shoes leak or you have them on foot or whatever, we always get hit up like, or like not, I'm sure you get hit up by like, how can I get a pair? What is it like when Khaled zeroes in on a, on a pair that he wants that you have? Correct me if I'm wrong. Did you have to meet him at the golf course?
Yes, I did, bro. Because listen,
Callie can get the pairs, right? He doesn't need. He can hit Reggie.
and then
right?
I get the samples as fast.
Yeah.
So
He can have the plug, but not. They love Khaled, of course.
Yes.
I love Khaled. We all
Yes.
love Khaled. but
Yes.
He can get them, but not my samples.
Mm.
You know, so
What was that
I
journey
woke up.
like? Yes.
I woke up. You know, because I remember we were in Formula One.
Mm-hmm.
And that was part of my strategy. I was like, and actually, I wasn't using social media.
Okay.
So when I came back, that was the first, like, kind of like people seeing me in public.
Yeah.
Because it took me like a year that I was like off, like
Mm-hmm.
out, let me focus on my family, my son. And so when I went to Formula One and I saw, you know, Khaled, he's like, you're going to give me those. I'm like, of course. But I didn't know he was saying specifically
That pair.
that pair.
That actual pair.
Exactly. I'm like, of
On the
course.
grid, like
You know, like, I got you, sure. So then, you know, I went to sleep and in the morning I have like 200 text messages. I'm like, what happened?
200?
Bro, I swear, G. Because you know, I have all these friends that love sneakers.
Yes.
Right? Then they all love Khaled. So, and Khaled, you know, it's happy and out loud. So the energy got there so out loud too.
yeah.
So they're like, what you gonna do about this? I'm like, what happened? Like, go check the Khaled IG. I'm like, okay, let me see. And that's like 3 videos, man. And he's like, man, you cannot do me. You can do me like that. You cannot do me like that. Oh, man, he cannot play with my word, man. Like, that's me. My
Yeah.
word is my currency.
Yeah.
So thank God I was still in Miami. And I called him immediately like, yo, Khaled. I wasn't really happy about it, but because I was losing my samples, bro.
Yes.
Like, where
Emotional.
are you? Where are you, man?
Yeah.
Like, I'm here on the golf course. No, I'm golfing. Let's golf.
Let's go golfing.
You know, let's golf. And I'm like, told my wife, like, you know what? You wanna come with me? I just gotta give this pair of shoes that I have on. So I went there. I took them off, bro. I'm like, here you go, man.
Yeah.
You guys are the same size?
No, that's the funniest thing.
He just took them?
He just won them.
He's not even his size.
No, he just won them. So I'm like, okay, you know, I love Khaled, man.
of course.
So, and he also made a great marketing without planning.
Definitely.
Sure.
Which is
It's
his like
great.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
I'm really grateful because it was Aula and you know he did the event in Miami where we
Yep.
saw each other, right? So
We got them all on the wall of the sneaker shop.
Yeah, so
right?
then that
Yes.
day, the same day I saw you, we did sneaker shopping in that morning, and that was on. He put it on the wall, and he was like, "Jay, Balvin doesn't even have these," and I was like, "Yeah, I know." He's like, "No, Jay, Balvin doesn't even have," and that's
The black ones, right?
Yes.
he
Early, that was
got me on
early.
that- he got me on that one.
Yeah,
He got me on that one. But yeah, the Khaled story was true. It was real, and I hope it happened again with the next ones.
Yeah.
He's the best marketing guy I ever met in my life.
Are you able to make everyone happy, though, when the shoes come out? Because I'm sure you have a million people hitting you up.
That's impossible, man. That's impossible. to make them
Yeah.
all happy. You know, you have that list that you always send to your friends and family. But you know, I wish we can have more, but nah. Like I still have a lot of complaints of friends of mine. Like, why don't I have those? Like, yo, listen, trust me, man. They went sold out in seconds, and I have the list, and they're gone. When I was a kid, you know, when I was like watching all these interviews of different artists, like Pharrell, that they asked him about sneakers, like, I don't have them.
Yeah.
Now I understand that it's true.
Yeah, you hear that in interviews. You're like, how could that be possible? How do you not
But
just have 200 pairs in the garage
Exactly,
right
but
now?
it's true. Like, I don't have them.
Yeah,
Yeah, of course, I got my extra my extra pairs, but
personal.
exactly. But it's like someone come to me like, oh, there's an 11 or 10, you know, like, bro, I
3
do
months
not have-
later,
and it's
4 months
true.
later.
And it's true. I before was like, come on, man, he made them. Like, what you mean they don't have them?
Yeah.
But it's true.
Who are you
We don't have
excited?
them.
Who are you excited to give pairs to? Like when you finish a shoe, who are you excited about sending a shoe off to?
Oh man, you know, JC. You know, I love JC. I love, you know, he's a big mentor in one way or another. He always inspired me, man. So yeah, JC. Well, Pharrell cannot wear them for obvious reasons.
Yeah, yeah.
Why? But you know, anyway, I send them to all my people. So there's a lot of people that I send them, but they have different sponsorships.
Got it.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Yeah.
So you know, they cannot be seen wearing them. I hope they're wearing them at home.
Yeah, around the house.
Did you see when Fat Joe did his Air Force Ones the other year, and then like he goes and gives them to Bill
No,
Clinton?
he went to my house.
Yeah.
He did. Yeah.
Yeah, he went to my house actually, and I love the hustle. He really,
Yeah.
you know, he really knows what he's doing when it comes always to his. That was the terror squads, right?
Yeah.
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 The year so far in sneakers, which ones stick out to you besides your own, obviously?
This year,
Yeah.
wow, that's too many, man.
Yeah. Is there one recently that like you chased a little or like I need those?
I mean, I'm so blessed to be part of Jordan team
Yeah.
that I get them all.
Yeah.
Right, it's a blessing. I still can't believe that when I come home and see
Yeah.
all those boxes, because I'm come from Colombia, man. You know, like I'm not supposed to
Yes.
be here.
Yeah.
You know, these things weren't supposed to happen. You know, until you just break the boundaries, you keep working hard for it. Right now, the only thing I can talk about is Jordans or
Yeah.
Nikes.
Yeah.
Almond and year threes?
Yeah, fire.
Yeah.
What about those green ones? That was last year or this year?
Green.
It was the threes. They're green.
Nina
It's
Chanel.
like a black.
It's a lady.
Nina Chanel.
Yeah.
The Nina Chanel.
Yeah.
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 That's this year, right?
Yeah.
Fire.
With
Yeah.
the different laces.
Fire.
You like those?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do. I
Yeah.
do. I think things it's they look more like high. They're like kind of like Chanel
Elevated. Yeah.
elevated. What's yours?
Um,
Putting you on the spot.
this
Sneaker of the
year,
year
what am
panel
I
coming.
excited
Putting me on
about?
the spot.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
of
throw
course,
you
yeah,
on the
fair,
spot.
totally
I'm
fair.
happy the pink Sunders are back. But the inline ones.
Yeah.
A
Right.
bunch, some New Balance. I think the Anthony Edwards on-court shoe is really good. What else do we have?
Reimagine Jordan 4s. Red
Yeah,
Jordan 4s.
Red
Man,
Jordan
that's what happened. Yeah.
They're okay. They're okay. I was out on them, and then I got a pair, and I was like warming up to them, and now I don't know. That's a low 10 for me.
Okay.
Yeah,
Not that
What about
high
you
and
guys?
personal. You know, I've been on Hoka lately.
but that's not shoe of the year.
They're
Well,
paying you for that, huh?
No,
Sorry,
absolutely
respectfully.
not. Absolutely not.
respectfully,
I don't have a deal, man.
All right.
shoe of the, but like one.
One of my personal favors. I'm not going to say
Oh yeah.
shoe of the
Well, that's why I
like,
said Sunder.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, TNs. I've been wearing a lot of Air
Oh,
Max
TNs,
Pluses,
yeah, Air Max
Sunset,
Plus,
you
yeah.
know.
Probably
Captain
Action,
America. You tell me.
Yeah.
Red, white, and blue, baby.
Action Bronson New Balance.
Yes.
Oh,
That's
okay.
one of my.
Of course.
The other thing when we talked on sneaker shopping, I remember it was around the 2, and I was like, "What are you are you done? Like, are you still cooking?" You were like, "I had a lot coming up."
Yeah.
Is there more after this coming up?
Just check the way the numbers are going.
Okay.
You see. It's
Have the
been-
conversation started on the next one already?
Oh, that every time I drop them, I'm already designing. We're already designing
Wow.
years ahead. Yeah, of course. And it's good sometimes because when I have some ideas, then they drop something that it looks like. And I'm not saying that something happened inside Jordan. It's just
Yeah.
like, they have too many pairs.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, let me tweak this. Let me change
You
that.
got to adjust.
Yeah, as long as I have time. But once they go on production, that's another different story.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, the next ones, 1, 2, 3. Let's see.
Yeah, let's see. Maybe we're going in order, or besides the 1, 2, and 3s, you don't have to say like.
You know what'd be dope?
Yeah.
I think no one has touched the 11s.
That's the.
So we had a conversation.
No
We had
one
a
has no collaboration
Yeah.
with an artist.
Yeah.
Or you corrupt me,
No.
We
You're
had a
right.
conversation
No,
about
they've
how
never done a
protected.
collaboration
I didn't
at
know
all.
in history, right?
No.
That's a grail, right?
Yeah.
But ones are a grail. Or is the,
Yeah, but
it might be
11
those
is-
Michael Jordan
11s are
favorites.
I also
protected.
think
Like
that there's fewer Air Jordan 11s. Air Jordan 1s. I don't know
Yeah,
how many colorways they make in a year,
Yep.
40 or whatever. But Jordan 11s, it's like 2 or 3, or used to just be
Yeah.
one. The December ones, So I feel like it's a shoe that they still protect and they still don't let people touch like that. Is that
I would,
that's what
I
we're
would
aiming for?
love.
Wait, what color would you make the 11s?
Good question, man. No, I gotta keep playing with the black.
yeah.
Oof, this kid. I'm talking in Spanish because I love it. When I'm
Getting
really
excited,
talking with
yeah.
the passion, I'm like, man.
Wait.
But the hard thing is what you're saying is like they don't play a lot with the colorway.
Yeah.
Wait, but what's your favorite 11 that's come out?
Bro, no, the OG ones, the
Yeah.
black and white.
Yeah.
Yeah, Concord.
Yeah, of course. That's the one you for the suit. You remember? That's when
Yeah,
you
Come on.
you go.
Did you
to
do
the-
it- did you do
the
it with
one-
the
suit?
that's the suit one.
Yeah.
But let me ask all of us here, because we love the 11, but do you think could we wear an 11? Right? I haven't worn 11 in a long
I got
I,
them here on my
I
desk. I'll
haven't
do
worn
it.
them in a while.
Yeah.
You want
But
me to
I'm
go
saying-
grab them? I'll put them on right now.
What do you have?
You have them
I
there?
think I have the Concords here. Yeah.
You have them here?
Yeah, I think so.
Can you ask your team?
Like
They
that's,
go perfect with the black and the
Yeah,
white.
they-
No,
they do.
they're-
I'm
Should've
ready.
worn 'em.
Just you can set up the
They're
deal.
amazing. I think they're
Tell
they're-
Reggie
they're-
we're coming.
Yeah, no, Reggie's always with the 11s.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, last time I saw him, we have an event. He was really elegant. He had
Yeah.
I think it was Michael Jordan's birthday.
Wow.
He had the 11s. He
What'd you
always
get
go
him
red
for his
with a suit.
birthday?
I performed for him
Yeah.
for free.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It's
Yeah, I
good.
got a lot of love for him and his family. So
Did he make
the
any?
boss need me, I'll be there.
Did he have any requests of songs he wanted you to perform?
Yeah. He asked for some, and nah, I love it, man. That's the GOAT. So every time he called me, I'll be there.
Can we talk about Reggie real quick? He's such an insider name, but I love to get info on these insider people. Because Reggie Saunders, Jordan Brand legend.
Bro, Reggie's the man.
Yeah.
Kids, go and look out for Reggie Sanders.
Yeah.
Please. He's so important in culture, man.
The guy who makes everything happen
That's
in
what I'm saying.
collaborations at Jordan.
You're like, that's the other green light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like 2 green lights. With the big boss
Yep.
and the other boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's been he became my friend. And we didn't become friends just because there's a business. Of course, we're in the business together, right? But once we start, he went to Colombia. He learned about our culture. He fell in love with Medellin, Colombia, and since then we have a really good relationship about life and about our sons, and you know. But when I heard his story, I didn't know he come a long way, man.
We got to
He's
get
been
that
the
story
video
on this
game,
podcast.
video games,
Definitely.
Yeah.
bro. Video games like culture in every aspect. Reggie, I think is super key. If he's not one of the super keys, but also the 2 legends, the presidents. Have you met the 2 guys?
No.
H.
Bro, the
Yeah.
2 other guys.
Howard White and Larry Miller.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, those-
bro.
Yeah.
They're so gangster.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see them with the tux and
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
the bow tie, like they're the freshest.
Yeah.
Jordan 11's on.
Yes. I love those guys. But yeah, Reggie Sanders, man, is so important because he's the one who put the whole team together. We also have a lot of Latinos in the team too.
Nice.
Design on the designing team. So, but Reggie is a key man.
Yeah.
How often are you texting Frank with sneaker ideas?
Frank, just when I'm really about to when we about to start, like when I have the green light about the number, like okay,
Like
number
which
3 is
model you're
ready.
gonna- yeah.
Like number 3
You
ready
said
to
number
go.
4?
I haven't said anything. No, they say like, okay, you're number 3 ready, green light. So that's when I call Frank. I'm like, okay, let's have this idea. what do you think? He come with another idea. He's really good at materials, you know, and we call straight up the source from Jordan because technology evolves all the time, right?
Yeah.
So there's always different type of material there, but we've never seen before in a sneaker. So he's really good at let's check what type of materials they have right now, and then we proceed to another one.
Do you associate sneakers with albums? Your album Dryo's out now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, will this always be the shoe that's tied to that album in your head, and you think about that time in your life?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. When we did, you know, this ones that's basically when my son was like 1 year, you know.
When you were first designing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what I name it. You know, Rios. That's the name of my son. So let's say that I was going kind of like a dark moment in my life, and when he came, he brought me that light. So that's why, you know, they're black, but the light's still shining.
It's poetic.
Yeah.
How's it been? The album August 9th it released?
Yes.
Bunch of songs on there?
Yes, a lot of songs.
Yeah.
I mean, not a lot, but 15. It's
Yeah.
it's more than good.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I think it's kind of hard for people to listen to an album with 25 songs or
Yeah.
something,
Got to
right?
cut it back a little bit.
Yeah, this is the generation of the skips.
Yeah.
Don't you
Right,
think?
right.
We all are.
Yeah.
You know, if we don't connect in the first like 10 seconds,
My thing
does
is
it happen
like,
to you guys?
it happens to me
Yeah,
because I listen
definitely.
to albums on the train. I listen to music on the train so much. And it's like if it takes me 40 minutes to get to work, sometimes I only ever hear the first 40 minutes of an album.
Yeah.
And I never get to the second half of the album or the last.
I mean,
third of the
an
album.
album that is longer than 40 minutes is really long
Yeah.
Yeah.
nowadays.
Yeah. You're
totally.
right.
Yeah.
Okay,
And-
if you check like Michael Jackson albums, they were like 30 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, he never had more than 12 songs.
He knew what he was doing. What's the right sweet spot for you for an album length?
To me right now, I'll be like next one. I would love to do 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How
you
many
know, you have the
minutes?
time to appreciate the songs.
And you're still happy when it's over. Like it's not dragging along, right? It's like you're still in the zone.
1000%.
Do you feel like the artists are playing like the stream game, you know? Because like they just want to put 35 songs on an album just so they
I don't
get
know if
this-
it's the artist or the label.
Yeah.
You know, but at the end of the day, the artist is the one who called the shots.
Yeah. Should be.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah.
Right. It depends on the contract they have. Me personally, I have my creative control. So I'm good, thank God.
It seems like you're kind of like a pretty like independent guy when it comes to doing it though, because a lot of like collaborators sometimes with Jordan or like Nike or other brands, they'll like
They let them send them. No, I'm
but
really involved in everything.
you've done the 1, 2, and 3, but you didn't have to do all these other side shoes, you know, that like to make the
true.
company happy, you know, like
Oh,
you
no.
only did the shoes that you want to do. You
Yeah,
know?
well, the seconds wasn't what I really
Okay,
wanted it,
but-
but they put me the task,
Yeah.
the mission. I'm like, let's go. You want to?
You got to prove yourself
Yeah,
to them.
exactly. Let's go. You know, we in the family, we ride or die. You know, but yeah, definitely, I'm really independent on my decisions, right? But I always listen.
Yeah.
I always listen. I'm not a stubborn in that way. I'm stubborn when I really know what I want. Once I know what I want, there's no way back.
Putting the album together, what's the official studio shoe for this album that just dropped?
The one I was using all the time?
Yeah. Really?
All the time.
Okay.
All the time. I was using this one. Yeah, the Rios.
Do
Yeah,
you
yeah.
like the black one better than? I feel like you like the black. You may not say, but I feel like you like the black colorway better than the white.
We were having that question yesterday with a bunch of guys because it was just a coincidence that it's not going to be a coincidence. We have an event,
Yeah.
a J Balvin event. So I saw a lot
Better
of,
be in the Jordans.
yeah,
Yeah.
They were having the black ones and the white ones, and they were asking like, "What's your favorite?" And I asked them like, "What's your favorite?"
Yeah.
A lot of them were like, "I don't know. It depends on the mood." I'm like, fair.
Yeah.
We don't see a lot of Jordan 3s black.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of black ones.
Black cement trees.
No, but
Yeah,
you mean
but like
different
black-
iterations? Yeah.
Trying
Yeah.
to think. I feel like they flipped the black cement a lot, but
Black
Or
and
the
And also
green one
black
you're
is
talking
kind of
about.
hard also.
yeah.
But the good thing is black match with everything.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy.
Yeah,
All
look at
black.
it.
Yeah, definitely.
This is always go. I mean, to me, yeah, I love this ones, man. But because this was gave me more the confidence of what I did with the white ones.
Did you want to drop those ones first then? Or like, how did you choose to do the white
That's
ones?
a good thing. I think I wanted to drop a black one first.
Yeah.
Yes, and then I'm like, nah. Let's go for the coconut. Yes.
Listen, can't thank you enough. Always great to chop it up with you.
Thank
New
you.
album, Rayo, out
Yeah, my new album, Rayo's out, man.
right
I'm
now.
super happy with it.
Yes, congratulations on everything.
Thank
And on the sneaker tip, it feels like you're going in order. So let's see what's coming up
you. Let's
next.
see, are you happy with the Rios?
Yeah.
We're happy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that means a lot.
As long as
because
we don't have to pay $25K for them.
No, come on, that's not gonna happen to you guys. I think you already have them, though.
I don't, but
don't?
we're happy with them.
Oh, we're gonna take care of it.
Yeah.
You do have them. You
Yes.
too?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I don't have them, the shoes, but they're
You don't?
No.
Okay, right now, after this interview, we have.
Wait, no,
I
we
have
can't
them.
because you just said that you don't have more pairs to give out for all
No,
those
no,
people.
no.
and
But there's people.
So we're gonna recreate like in Jersey City. He's gonna go to a mini golf place, and then
Okay.
we'll recreate you coming like the Khaled thing, and we'll film it.
And you get this
Another
crazy.
piece of marketing,
Perfect. You're
I
welcome,
have one
Reggie.
question for you guys. What would you love to see in case there were a 4 out? What why are you missing? Why are you missing? Or what give you that
Wow.
nostalgia to be like,
Wow.
man, I would love to see a 4 like this.
It's
And I'm
tough.
basically, remember, I'm not saying this is gonna be the next.
No,
Yeah.
I know.
But I love the question because we're talking about.
I think you
other-
have to go colorful with it because there's not that many really colorful Jordan 4s, right? Like you think about Jordan 4s and I feel like they're all relatively tame. So I feel like it's ripe for that.
It's tough to ask me because I like predominantly black, but how you handled this 3, I wouldn't say like get close to that. So, but that is like to me perfect way to handle that. But it's tough also for you because the first collab that you did was so out there and so risky. And now I don't know, maybe it's time to
go
have-
risky again.
Maybe
I think so.
Maybe.
I think so.
You know?
Are you trying to take me out of the best collabs?
No.
I'm not sabotaging you.
No. But
No, because I feel like you've seen 4s. Like Aleli May did that like Friends and
The
for her-
camo one.
for
yeah.
her father, where she did like the military,
Do the
all over
the army
yeah.
looking ones with
Yeah.
the camo print on
Shout out
it.
to
So like
Barlos, yeah.
those
but
were
that was the girl,
yeah,
the queen,
Aleli May.
Aleli.
Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah.
So a print like would work on the 4s if you do it the right
Weren't
way.
they on your top on your top of the year?
Which one, Aleli?
Yeah.
Well,
I
No,
think
'cause
they were discussed.
They
both
didn't
times.
release.
We don't count it because it didn't actually have a
She
retail
like made them
release.
for her
It's
dad
friends and
and then,
family
like,
only.
they just-
Oh, that was just friends and family.
Yeah.
You don't know because you get them anyway.
Yeah. The
Oh,
cam-
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
the-
But
Yeah.
those crazy.
Yeah, those were hard.
yeah.
Okay. So what about you? What's your recommendation?
I think you should do a print on the shoe, but like something that's like a print but subtle, but it works. Like not as loud as the ones. It's still funny. We go back to it. We always talk about it. Where we had Scottie Pippen on full size when he showed up in Paris size 17
With the ones?
with
Yeah.
the ones.
You can definitely see
Insane.
them from the far.
Yeah.
You can see it from Google Earth. You know, you can see the colors.
Yeah.
Wow, Scotty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, that was a good moment.
Yeah.
It
Amazing.
was a good moment.
Thanks again for joining. Always great to see
Nah,
you.
thank you guys.
Yep.
Rayo,
Well,
new
appreciate
album.
Yes, Roger,
It's
the
out.
album is out now.
Jay Balvin, thanks again, man.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
I appreciate you guys.
All right, everyone. This has been the Complex Sneakers Show. We hope everyone has a great weekend. Please like, subscribe. We will see you. When will we see?
When we see you.
Soon?
Yeah, soon.
Okay, yes. Please like, subscribe. We will see you soon.